back bumper. Can anything happen through the tri-oval? Walker Thomas to the inside. Here he comes to the outside, side by side through the tri-oval. The 14, it's going to be a photo finish to the line. Who's going to get it? Walker Thomas.
Machine coming out of turn number 4. Tiller looking to go 3 wide, almost 4 wide. He's going to try to look for a gap. Bobbing and weaving for the lead down through the tri-oval.
Photo finish.
2 by 2. The 65 gets the win.
The car behind me is my Chili Bowl midget, the one that I won the Chili Bowl with. And what's interesting about that is it's actually the car that iRacing scanned that's going to be available to all the iRacing members out there.
Once again, photo finish here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Will it be Tim Hogan? It's going to be Christopher DeMerit at the line.
Hello and welcome race fans back to PTRTV, back here with the Integrity Racing League here from the Talladega Super Speedway, the below the yellow 250 here from the 2.66 mile Super Speedway, and looking to have a really good show here tonight. The back racing, restrictor plate racing always brings some good action. I'm Brandon Krutz. Joining me as always is Evan Black and Corey Silva. Corey Silva doubling as our tech producer mostly every night. And behind the scenes, we got Joe Chris for our quality control specialist. And well, welcome back everybody, and looking for a good show here tonight.
Yeah, as we saw in the real world, as we mimic here on Mondays in the Integrity Racing League, we are at the high banks of Talladega Super Speedway. 94 laps of action right now. These drivers just wrapping up their qualifying session. Just a little bit of time left. Solo car session, I do believe it is. And we have up front Michael Duels so far leading the charge.
Yeah, leading by only 1,000th of a second over Brandon Kirkman.
Couple guys still on track. We're following Adam de Blasio right now. He's been a front runner in many of these races this season, so we'll see what kind of run he can pull off. Actually, it looks like that he will come to the pits right now. See if anybody else is still on the racetrack turning some laps right now. A couple drivers. Trevor Ropolo right here. That number 90 machine. He will come to the stripe and see what he can do. 15th. So again, thanks everybody for tuning in to tonight's action here on PTR TV. Hope you enjoy the coverage. We'll be bringing you the Integrity Racing League, all of their 2018 campaigns. So if you like the league, you like us, make sure you subscribe, stay tuned, and you'll be in for a full season of action here. But we are about to bring to you the PTR TV starting lineup here just in a matter of moments as these drivers do wrap up their session right now. As that gets situated, just give us a moment and we will get to you the starting lineup here on PTR TV. On tonight's poll with a lap time of 51.914, Michael Duell in the number 88 machine. Congratulations to him on that lap. Brandon Kirkman on the outside of the front row. Adam de Blasio in third. Lee Pierce in fourth. And we have Carson Badel in fifth. Samuel Nato in sixth. Todd Thomas seventh. Caleb Eisenhower in eighth. And then rounding out your top 10, Neil Froelich and James Hudson.
Camilo Thompson rolling off in P11. Don Stevenson to his outside. Joseph Tice in 13th. Cody Smith in 14th. Trevor Ropolo in 15th. And around the rest of the field, or rest of the top 20, Nick Terabuch, Christopher Schetzler, Guillermo Alvarez, Jacob Fife, and Jimbo Hickson round out the field in 20th.
In 21st spot, we have Joshua Campbell, Alan Roll in P22, Greg Trego 23rd, Lance Gentles 24th, Cameron Hearn in 25th, Jay Heisman in 26th position, Brad Patton 27th, Alan Pahari in 28th, and then Jason Miller and William Dunn 29th and 30th.
Then right out the rest of the field, Tom Wetmore, Bruce Ackerman, Christopher Halling, Mark Robertson, Ken Weatherall, Randy Fash, and Eric Bonazia round out the rest of the field in 37th.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is your starting lineup here on PTR TV for the Integrity Racing League, the Below the Yellow 250 from the Talladega Super Speedway, and ready for the field to roll off here in just a matter of moments, and ready for these guys to go pack racing here from the Talladega Super Speedway.
So we got 94 laps of action here, and we have seen guys that we've covered them for about 3 races. I think we covered them at Bristol, at Texas, and obviously we will be doing here at Dega. I think there was one more in there, but regardless, we've seen a lot of green flag racing from these guys. Do you expect anything different here at the Super Speedway?
Well, that's tough to call. You know, there can be some really, really good racers in a league, and Integrity Racing League, there is a lot of really, really good racers here. But, you know, sometimes with super speedways and the large packs comes a bunch of wrecks, and it's really, really hard to judge that sometimes.
I think it'll be a lot of green flag racing. Just given on how hard it is to get side-by-side and stay side-by-side with this Cup draft package.
Yeah, I think these guys are just going to have to watch out with how aggressive they'll be here on the start and all the restarts here, trying to get down to the bottom, because we know that's likely what's going to happen, and not everybody's going to want to stay to the high side. But guys, we've never really seen any large pack racing like this before. We could be surprised.
Yeah, that is a good point. I don't think we've ever covered a 37 car grid at a Super Speedway. So who knows, maybe they'll be able to run 2-3 wide.
Yeah, we will see. It's up to these drivers and how they can work together and what their strategy is. Remember, it is a long race here, probably a good 2 hours worth of racing. You don't want to get taken out on lap number 1, so half a lap away from the green flag here. As we said, the 88 Michael Duell is on the front row here today, along with, in the position number 2, the number 5 machine.
So these guys making their way down off of turn number 4 now. Your pole sitter Michael Duell going to be leading the field to the green. Now, on a normal track, ladies and gentlemen, the start-finish line would be located right in the center of the triangle. Not at Talladega. These guys have to wait to go around here through the triangle to the start finish line that is past the pit road exit. So a little bit of a wait here before these guys take the green flag. Normally right where they're going by now, just underneath the flagger stand, is the normal start finish line. Not here from Talladega. Now, green flag is in the air for the first time tonight here at Talladega. We're underway.
Outside lane got a pretty good jump. They're going to have a slight advantage down into turn number 1, but which lane will be able to get formed up the quickest will tell who will have the lead.
Yeah, right now it looks like the 88 has cleared the top groove, and the 5 machine on the outside, Brandon Kirkman, trying to lead the charge there with the push from Lee Pierce. They will lose the speed, but they have to get their momentum built up.
Heading down the back straightaway now, 2 by 2, heading down into turn number 3 now. These guys not really going anywhere. A few guys on the back end of the pack move down to the bottom lane. These guys already starting to split into 2 packs. I see right back there, kind of splitting the field in half, but these guys not giving an inch anywhere.
Yeah, inside lane, or the outside lane started gaining its momentum back down the back straightaway. Now they're still, once again, side by side for the lead. It looks like the outside may get at the line. We'll see who leads this lap. Looks like it goes to the 5 of Brandon Kirkman. Yes, it does.
Yeah, surprising to see the outside groove there getting the initial jump. That is a good sign for the rest of the race for these drivers. But here they come off of quarter number 2 down the back straightaway. 88 gets the edge again.
Something I've noticed, especially in these Gen 6 machines, if you want the outside to work, the first couple of drivers really have to be aggressive, and the driver behind them, got to work on maybe dragging those brakes a little bit. Got to be able to push the guy ahead of you.
Very good point, but remember, you don't want to push too hard. That is something that will potentially get these cars spun around here, but these drivers seem to be racing with a lot of respect here. I think there's someone causing a spark show against the wall there. But
looks like someone having some internet connection issues, Corey.
Yep, but everything does stay clean and green. 2 laps completed here at Talladega. Nothing has changed up front. You can see we are pace lap formation for about 4 rows. Outside groove is starting to fizzle out as the inside seems to be where everyone has been migrating to.
So Corey, do you think about probably 45 laps with the fuel window? That's kind of what I would think.
Yeah, I would say that'd be a pretty fair estimate. So we'll have to play this race potentially to be a 3-stop race, so we will see if these guys want to do 45, because I don't know if that's going to be the winning strategy. You may want to see them do 33 and 66. Or 30 and 60, something on those lines.
But Brandon Kirkman has cleared for the lead, now down in front of that number 88 machine. So now the 28 of Lee Pierce leading that outside lane, as there's only about 3 cars up there at the front.
Yeah, the high side kind of starting to fall off a little bit. Most of those guys working their way down to the bottom of the racetrack, kind of riding right now, and it looks like it's a single file train all the way around the bottom.
Yep, and that is just, as Evan kind of alluded to in the pre-race, that is how it is kind of set up here with the Cup cars. It is harder to get that momentum built up and sustained. And second of all, as we said, it's a long race. There is no need to push the issue this early and get taken out and be done on lap 4.
Yeah, there's only 6 cars up there in the outside lane total, and they're only in packs of 2, so they're going to be trying to get down to the bottom as soon as they can.
So those guys that were up there fighting for the lead have fallen back now, and it looks like that train around the bottom starting to prevail against the rest of the field.
Yes, it is. So we'll go back, and it looks like there are more drivers back there that are trying to make that line work. The 28 machine being the one leading that charge, but he did only have about 3 drivers up there. Now he has 4, so maybe that'll instigate some more drivers to go up there.
Yeah, but those 4 up there now, they're starting to drop back. So I don't know if they'll be able to get many more up there or not.
The key to get that outside line to work is most definitely the car count. It looks like a couple of more
Corey, they're hitting more up there now.
With them.
Exactly. Now we have about 5 drivers up there, 7 kind of in the making as there's a couple further back. So, and then who is that up top there? A lot of drivers running similar paint schemes there, so it's kind of hard for us to differentiate, but we have a couple drivers up front. Here we go. The outside's charging.
Adam de Blasio now leading that outside lane in that 48 machine. He's side by side with second place, Michael Duell. We'll see if he can get up to that number 5 of Brandon Kirkman for the lead as they come out of turn number 4 now.
Heading down the front straightaway now, going down through the tri-oval. The number 5 is out front at the moment. That's Brandon Kirkwood. Here comes the 48 machine, maybe going to challenge for the lead, pushed by the 78 machine.
48 got at the line.
So the outside is not dead. As we've seen, these drivers really can make it work if that is their intuition to do so. But they have to have that dedication. They have to have that help behind them. Right now, they do have it in the sense of about 4 drivers. You can see a couple drivers tagging along. They're trying to catch along, but let's see what happens here. The bottom has not been getting the lead when the outside has this run. The bottom has not led the lead at the stripe, I don't believe.
And you know, something to point out, the high line at Talladega is most definitely the faster line around here. And, you know, drivers, they don't like running up there when they're in a large single file train, but it is the faster line around. That is where you could potentially run your fastest laps of the race. So, you know, even if they get a small pack of cars up there, you know, maybe 6, 7 cars up there, it can most certainly work out for these guys.
It definitely can, and it can really get them pinched down there on the inside. And a lot of times we know, and especially the trucks in the Xfinity cars more likely, sometimes you want to be up there. The bottom is really kind of debilitating. You can't make any moves when you have those drivers right on your door.
Outside lane starting to drop back just a little bit. Only 3 cars up there at the front, and then another 3-car pack a little bit further back.
Right now we are taking lap number 9 here at Talladega Superspeedway. We still have 30 drivers within 2.5 seconds of each other. That goes all the way back to Jimbo Hickson there in the 44, leading the absolute end of the train there. About 5 drivers have lost the draft, but still these drivers doing a very good job staying in pack formation. The top is starting to lose some drivers here. It is still the 48 machine of Adam de Blasio leading it. Only has 3 direct partners behind him.
There's 2 a little bit further back that are kind of starting to catch those 3, so we'll see if maybe, I see one of them now dropping down to the inside lane, so only 4 up there now.
Yeah, so right now we are about 6 drivers deep as they are trying to pass a lap down car, what will be a lap down car. Eric de Blasio in the number 11 machine is getting funneled by on the inside groove. That is putting him 1 lap down, but he is the only driver 1 lap down, so if a caution does come out, he will get the free pass on that, but he will merge in a battle with the leaders right now.
So, the high line kind of falling off once again. They do have car count up there, but trying to work out, and it's really all the lead car and the guy who is right behind him. If they're not aggressive enough, they're not going to make up any ground.
Yeah, now they got a pretty good pack there. I think about 6 cars up there in that outside lane, so we'll see if they can start moving forward, but right now they are still going backwards.
Now right now the outside lane is back towards the 8th and 9th position. Can't seem to go any farther than that. They're going to need that help from the pack in front of them or from the drivers in line ahead of them, but at this point, I mean, everyone's kind of content with their position. Maybe wait until pit stops.
Yeah, absolutely. Looks like those guys starting to drop off the high side now once again. Just 3 cars up there. So, yeah, tough call for those guys, but it looks like it's going to be a single file train around the bottom once again. But as I say that, looks like a couple of guys were up there for a brief moment. The outside line may be starting to make a little bit of ground here, guys.
Yeah, looks like they have gotten themselves a little bit further up in the chain there, so we'll see what that happens. They are up to the side of the 53 machine. 53 machine is in the 7th position. They have a head of steam here. They come to the outside of the 45 Samuel and NATO, so they are making some headway now, but as we say that, someone did dive to the bottom on them.
Yeah, 3 cars up there in the outside lane at this front pack, and a side-by-side with the 45 for, I believe, the 5th position. So they're definitely making their way further up to the field.
The number 90 machine, Trevor Opolo, is doing a very dedicated job pushing the number 28, but not quite enough, as we have the 48 of Adam de Blasio. He is just in decision mode. What do I do? What do I do? Doesn't know which line he wants to go on. Looks like he will stay in the top for the time being.
A few more drivers jumping up to the high side now. That'll just add the momentum that the outside line can carry, and should help them carry these guys up towards the front.
Yeah, I mean, oops, someone in the wall there at the middle portion of the pack there is dropping on back. Everyone does evade it.
It's Todd Thomas in that 78.
Yeah, some damage there, but everyone does stay clean and green. Lap number 14 now on the board right now. The outside has kind of stagnated out around the 5th position, but they have a lot more help up there, so we'll see if they can get that move going.
Yeah, and that split up this pack because everyone had to check out for the 78 getting really loose and almost spinning out. So now it looks like about 14 cars in that lead pack.
Yeah, these guys now heading down into turn number 3 is the 28 machine. Still trying to lead that high line around here, but it looks like they've kind of stalled down, getting up to around the 4th position. Now, a pretty good head of steam down off of turn number 4 that last time by trying to get around the 17.
Yeah, they have a head of steam now. They are now alongside the 62 of Carlson Bale, so that is a good thing for them. They are side by side with him, trying to get to the side of the 88 of Michael Duell. That'll get them to the 2nd position. Ropolo needs to get a little closer to the back bumper and try to give him a better push, but he can't seem to break the bubble.
Yeah, we'll see as they go down the back straightaway now. They get ready to go into turn number 3. We'll see if the 28 can get to the quarter panel of that 88. I don't think they'll be able to through 3 and 4. We'll see if they can get a good enough run out of 4 and down the front straightaway.
Yeah, it looks like this is where they would normally get the runners off of the corners, getting the run off the hill down the appropriate straightaway, but did not seem to happen this time by. It's falling in the clutches of Neil Froelich in the 17 machine, so they lost their time. And you can really see here, guys, we have a differential in packs. We really have 2 separate packs going on right now. Looks like up front we have about 14 drivers. Caleb Eisenhower in the 51 is the tail end in that pack, but we have William Dunn in the 43 machine leading the 2nd charge. They are single file, about 4 cars, and about 4 cars behind that. Those are about a second and a half off of those drivers ahead.
And they're not running too much slower, but a 10th or 2 per lap, so they really need to either get working a little bit better together to try and get out there to the lead pack.
Something I would like to bring up super quick for everybody is the points. Right now, holding the points lead is Adam de Blasio. Looks like in 2nd is Joshua Campbell. Jason Miller holding 3rd. 4th is Jacob Fife. Tied for 4th is Don Stevenson. Then back there in 6th is Joseph Thiaz. Brandon Kirkman in 7th. Tied for 7th is Todd Thomas. And a tie for 9th is William Dunn and Jay Heschman. And looks like that rounds out your top 10 in points. Now the next guy back is Eric de Blasio holding 11th in points.
Yep, so that is the standings after 9 races thus far. We are on race number 10 in the Integrity Racing League season. Obviously last week being a good race at Richmond that we saw, but look what's going on, guys, up front. Pierce in the 28 is alongside. He was alongside the 88 machine, but he loses the steam through the center of the turn. Let's see if he can get it back.
Actually looks like there might be more cars up there in that outside lane now, where it's at least pretty even as one of them drops down to the bottom, so we'll see if they can get up there any further than where they are right now.
Yeah, and it does look like this second pack is single file enough at the moment that they may actually be getting a whiff of the front pack and trying to get back to these drivers to have one big pack again.
Yeah, trying to catch up to that first pack, trying to be one big family once again. It looks like the lead car from that outside line moving down. Those drivers, that line starting to lose drivers rapidly.
And I did see out of the back of the long shot there, we did have one pack completely diseven from everybody else. That is led by Todd Thomas in the 78. Greg Trego, Alan Pahari and company. That is from 28th on back. Those drivers are 12 seconds off the lead.
So that outside line has dropped dramatically from just a couple of laps ago, and folks, that's how fast it happens. And it looks like now, once again, starting to get formed up once again.
And it's just going to kind of be a cat and mouse game all race long, really, until the end of the race, where obviously every position is being challenged for. At this point, you have your drivers up front. They are just content. They are just running laps, waiting till their pit stops. And you have the drivers like the 90 and the 48. They want to go. They want to get up there, but you can't get up there with no help.
Now that lead pack is caught up, or now that second pack is caught up to the lead pack. And it looks like everyone there just wanting to stay in line except for the 58, who is a lap down, so he was probably trying to get a lap back, but no one went with him.
Yeah, no one goes with you. Obviously, choo to the back of the train, so you just have to wait, get back in line, wait for somebody else to be there for you. And as we can see here through corner number 3 and 4, Ropolo seems to be getting the charge. He is alongside the 62. He'll get the run off of corner number 4. Here comes the 88 to the top, taking a look for the lead.
Michael Doyle now to the outside of that number 5 of Brandon Kirkman for the lead, coming out of the tribal now. I think 88 will lead that lap, but he will not clear into turn 1. We'll see if he can out of 2.
Here he comes through corner number 1 and 2 on the high side. He is door to door, so with the run, he should get off of the hill off corner number 2. He should be able to take the lead over the 5. He will just about clear, drop to the bottom, and we have a new leader.
Now Trevor Ropolo to the outside.
Lead. And now the 90 machine up on the outside. One driver drifting up the racetrack, maybe hoping someone would take him to get a third line started. Not going to happen. Lucky enough, he's able to drop back into that same position. The 90 machine fell off of the quarter band on the 88 just a little bit that time by, but heading down through the trial, the outside line has a head of steam once again.
A 90 of Ropolo seems to have a good chassis under the hood of that machine. That is allowing him to lead this pack with authority compared to some other drivers that have been up there. But 48 of de Blasio is trying to get to the back bumper. 36 of Jacob Fife, he's up here now trying to help out and see what he can do with the upper line, but he has too big of a gap, and that's stall on the outside up front.
Oh, 88 goes around.
Oh, hooked. It's the 88 out of the lead. Now the 5 on the apron, car scrambling everywhere.
But due to the fact that he's all the way to the bottom, there's no caution flag.
3-4 wide, guys still trying to get back up onto the racetrack now 3 wide for the lead up front, now 3 wide for second place. Almost 4 wide heading down through the tri-oval.
Quickly, we saw that replay there, but you can see this action as they were talking about up front. And here we come, almost 4 wide here, 24 to the top, 48 up top, 62 to the bottom rather. That will fizzle out for the lead. 90's up front, but we still have the 48 up top, 3 wide by himself.
I don't know how all those drivers are able to get through that without causing a bigger wreck, but we stay green on the speedway.
Yeah, the 48 of de Blasio got stuck up top 3 wide, and it's now all the way back to 10th, and he's going to lose at least one more spot to the 28. 48 gets in line behind the number 28 in the 11th position.
Looks like everything's settling out now once again. Scary, scary moment for pretty much that entire field right there. And it looks like these guys, if they want to get anything done, are going to have to get that top line formed up once again.
It took a lot of work to get there. Now that it's gone, it's kind of a little bit of a slap in the face. You finally got it working, and now what happened? But the guy, Michael Duell in the 88, all the way back to the 33rd position. You can see the damage to that machine, and correct me if I'm wrong, guys, we don't have backup cars in this series.
There are no fast repairs here tonight.
It looks like the 36 machine got very loose down there through the center of the corner. A couple of guys making evasive maneuvers, and it looks like they're going to get stuck up onto the outside lane. Maybe they'll get lucky enough for someone to jump up there with them.
At this point, I don't know if that's going to happen, guys, but because like I kind of mentioned in the pre-race, we're expecting this race to be a 2-stop race. Of course, assuming we can go about 40 to 45 laps on fuel, so it's going to be a 2-stop race. I'd have to imagine you're going to see some guys pitting around lap 30. But then again, what do I know about pit strategy?
Well, if it's a 2-stop race, then they wouldn't be able to make it if they pit on lap 30.
30 and 60.
Actually, yeah, they could, because you can go at 45, yeah.
Yeah, see?
Yeah.
Corey went to the School of Crew Chiefing.
The School of Crew Chiefing.
For about a day. I didn't pass, though. But here we go up top. Jacob Fife. Jacob Fife for the 36. Little door slam there to the 25 of Joseph Thies. There in the tri-oval. Nothing really bad came from it, but just worth noting. 36, 43, 48 leading the top charge right now off corner number 2.
But as Corey called it, it's almost like a game of cat and mouse there between the bottom line and the top line, and drivers switching back and forth, and that's how fast it happened, folks. Just about a lap ago, that outside line was nothing, and maybe a car or two up there. Now they've got plenty of drivers up there to make it work.
Yes, they do. It's about 10 drivers up there now, so if that's not enough, I don't know what to tell you. So we should have that line charging here. Does seem to be doing exactly that through the tri-oval.
Start-finish line, the 36 of Jacob Fife and the 62 of Carson Badel will be side-by-side for second, as now the 36 just barely is getting to the right rear quarter panel of that number 90 machine for the lead. Now out of number 2, we'll see that outside can get the run.
Yeah, the outer lane starting to get the run on the leader of Trevor Robolo, and looks like the 36 of 5 maybe to his outside, not quite there yet, just about.
Yeah, he is to the outside of the 62. I don't think he'll have enough steam to get to the outside of the 90. And the inside lane, you can see it's fizzled out just a little bit behind the 17 of Neil Froelich. There is a pretty good gap to the 25 of Joseph Thies that will kind of stall them out and maybe give the outside a little bit of a chance.
But the outside is actually a little bit stalled out now, as the 36 of Jacob Fife is now back side by side with the 17. So we'll see. Now they're getting a pretty good run down the back straightaway once again side by side with the 62.
Yeah, they should get a pretty good run here up off the high side of turn number 4 this time. The top 3 at the bottom line kind of pulled away from the rest of that line down there and got to put themselves in a situation that wasn't favorable. So now that outer line is going to have momentum down here through the tri-oval.
Outside lane side by side for the lead. I think Jacob Fife will lead this lap from the top. He may have been clear by the time they get to turn 1. We will see. He is clear.
And he will just barely cut in front of the 90, so move the 36 to P1 to the inside. And now I guess it's the 43 turn. William Dunn. He will see if he can lead the outside and kind of do the cat and mouse game and take the lead from the outside, drop to the bottom.
almost clear by the time they get to turn 3. He is clear, I think, almost.
Not quite. Still right there at his door now. Now looks like they're even, and the 43 falls back just a little bit on corner exit out of turn 4 that last time. By gonna fall back a little bit about to the quarter panel of that 36 machine of fight, but William Dunn in the outside lane leading that outside line, trying to get something done. No pun intended.
Oh, I see what you did there. But they are to the right rear quarter panel. If he could get to the right rear quarter panel of the 36, that would allow him to side draft and get even more of a run off quarter exit. He kind of gave him a little more space to kind of eliminate that opportunity. But we have 6 drivers up top, a whole bunch of drivers in the bottom groove throughout the remainder of this pack. 21 drivers still in the lead draft right now on lap number 31.
It is a question of when these guys are going to start heading down into pit lane now. Looks like everything's starting or trying to settle out a little bit. No drivers really jumping to the inside, but there's no drivers going to the outside anymore either. So maybe some of these guys are going to have to try to prepare for pit stops. Now the 36
going to the outside, but he was seen kind of indecisive.
Yeah, I think he went up, maybe thinking that outside had a run, and the run kind of stalled out. Now, trying to get around to a lap car, things get a little bit messy.
88, we can see the rear damage to him going a lap down. Everyone had to go above him. Now they're 3 by 3 for about 3 to 4 rows, side by side for the lead. The 43 has the edge off corner number 4. Not enough to drop in front of the 636 though. Actually, now he does.
Just as I say, things are starting to calm down a little bit now. Going to be 3 wide, 2 rows deep from second place on back. The 36, or the 43 rather, in a row of his own. These guys trying to follow that third groove starting to get going.
So it does seem, though, at Talladega that the outside may not be preferred, but when it does get going, the leader of the outside groove has been able to drop to the bottom and take the lead. We've seen about 4 drivers kind of share that roll off. Now it's the 43 turns. Let's see if the 48 can do the same, get that run and drop to the bottom.
Yeah, 5 cars out there in the middle lane and 2 at the very top, and then the rest of this lead pack is on the bottom. So the bottom lane definitely has the number advantage, but we'll see if that middle lane can work together well enough to be able to get up front.
See, it's a couple guys have started coming out of pit road already, waiting for the rest of the field to come down. Now, that's the tricky part, guys, trying to plan when you're coming down out of pit lane and, you know, trying to hold your car together and hold your end of the deal up so that way you don't cause a mess.
Yeah, you have to kind of coordinate with everybody in line, making sure they know that you're coming to pit lane so we don't have any checkups there and guys getting bumped on the rear side and spinning them around. And you also have to go from about 200 miles an hour down to 55 in about 750 feet, so that's not an easy task in itself.
I see quite a few drivers getting ready to go down to the bottom lane, so I wonder if that means they're getting close to pit stops or if they just want to be down there.
Yeah, because at this point, the 2-stop strategy is the door is well open for it. At this point, it'd be 35 and then lap 70, and that would only give you a 25 lap run to the end. So I can't imagine these guys being able to go 48 laps, really, that you need to do to run this race on 1 stop, but we will see what happens.
So everybody is starting to get single file now. Just a handful of cars left up on that upper line. So not really sure how much longer these guys can go on fuel, but I do know that lap 47 is our halfway point.
So they need to get to lap 47, and can they go 11 more laps? That is the question. That we will find out in 11 laps.
Yeah, that would be if these guys wanted to do it on a 1-stop strategy.
And I know we didn't run the NASCAR iRacing series, so as we said, we don't have a specific idea of fuel mileage. We spent most of our time at the trucks this week, so Just based on common knowledge, we know the real world NASCAR Monster Energy cars can go about 40. Well, they went about 45 laps on a full fuel cell, so we'd have to imagine.
And maybe, just maybe, Corey, some of these guys were planning way in advance and started saving in the draft.
That's a very good point, because you have drivers such as, well, the guys at the tail end of this pack, maybe Nick Terrabush there in the middle of the pack, or Caleb Eisenhower at the tail end. They realistically could be going like half throttle.
Even the guy in second or third really could. It's just the leader is the only one that really can't.
43 is pedal to the floor, but everybody else could be between 80%, 70%, even 60%, as we said midway through the draft. So you do that from lap number 1, and you really could stretch probably another lap or 2 out of it.
Should be interesting here. This time by, it'll be 10 laps till our halfway point. And here comes a group of cars from the tail end of this pack.
Yes, it is. It is Caleb Eisenhower, Brad Patton, and who is that? Tom Wetmore. 3 drivers down here on pit lane, lap 37.
Which I'm pretty sure Brad Patton did not make pit road speed. In fact, he was going about 80 at the line.
Yes.
Boy, oh boy, guys, if these guys cannot make it to our halfway point, it's going to be really interesting to see what happens to the end, because it means that they're going to be just short on fuel.
Yeah, at this point, if you're going for lap number 40, or approximately, then you're just going to have a really short final stop. You're only going to need about maybe 1 can of fuel, if even that. So perhaps that is the other approach to it. As here we go, a lot of drives dropping off down. Ropolo, Dieto.
Looks like about 7 drivers coming down pit road. I see some tire smoke. Everyone keeps it straight, but it looks like a lot of people were locking it up.
Yeah, getting everything they can. So that leaves 3 drivers kind of in their own little space right now. Dunn, Fife, and Badel. And then 2 cars behind that. That is Lee Pierce and Neil Froelich. They are about a second behind, and then they are kind of catching a couple guys who exited the pits, and you can see a lot of drivers running by themselves. They lost their partners.
Yeah, absolutely. Really got to coordinate with your fellow racers here on these pit stops. And now here comes the rest of the field of 43. Maybe a late decision. Here comes the 36.
A lot of tire smoke.
43.
Thinking that some of those guys did not make it.
And we saw there was some Reese's car there, the 24 machine of Chris Scheltzer. Thought he was going to lock it up and lose control into somebody. Did a good job evading that, but
I almost guarantee the 36 of Fife did not make it onto pit lane.
The 43 and the 36, I'm going to say, got penalties. Fife was going about 78 at the line.
And it's a
he was going 83 at the line. Fife was, and the 43
and
machine
Fife
just
has a penalty.
check.
He is still in his box. It is a 15-second post-stop penalty for those drivers that missed their stall. So
William Dunn was going 68 at the line. So
now we'll see how these drivers who did not get penalties are able to merge in with those who are on the track at full speed. Trevor Ropolo, here he comes with help from the 45 Sam Nieto. He is passing many of these drivers right now as he's up to full song here, just about to come off of corner number 2. And he is about to catch Badel and Froelich, who should be up to near top speed at the end of the back straightaway. And here they come to the outside. And they will clear him, but not by much. They got up speed quite well.
yeah, looks like yeah, they will maybe barely get by. No, this is going to be...
Oh,
here they go. I thought it was going to be a little bit of a battle between those 2 groups, but it looks like it's going to turn into a 4-car group here.
And then about a 6-car, 2-wide pack behind them.
Yeah, that is de Blasio and Pierce leading that charge, and if they want to catch the leaders, it'd behoove them to get in line single file, and you can go a little bit further back. Chris Scheltzer in the 24, James Hudson, they are A couple drivers kind of spaced out just a little bit. See the 16 machine of Lance Gentles. He should be able to tag on to the back of those drivers. So we are spaced out here after pit stops here. Lap number 41 in the books.
Oh, the 62 gets hooked somehow. Saves that race car. Amazing save by him.
We go back here on replay and try to catch that. You can see the 17 was behind him, Froelich. And what else do we call that? The good old-fashioned Talladega bumper hook. Going through the grass there and did a very good job to save it. And he fortunately is in the clutches of the second pack now. And given the fact that now that we have a 3-car lead pack, we should have one huge pack in about a lap, if even.
Yeah, Lee Pierce last time by ran about a half-second quicker than Neil Froelich.
And you got a third group of cars behind that second pack that may be trying to play catch-up as well. So, quite a few of these. That third group of drivers being led by the 5 machine of Kirkman.
Well, this is what happens, guys. As we know, if you do not nail your stop, or the drivers you were with did not nail their stop, or whatever the situation may be, it does spread out the field. So we had about 20 some odd drivers up in the lead pack before that stop. We are down to 11, James Hudson being the last one. We have the duo of Gentles and Jason Miller. And then a couple drivers further back, about 4 drivers behind that. That is Tom Wetmore, I believe Eisenhower, and a couple other drivers. And then we go back about 5 seconds to the next group of drivers. So we are rather spread out here at Talladega.
With how this race has played out so far, do you guys think we'll see a caution and get everything grouped back up?
If we have a caution, I mean, in my honest opinion, I'm going to say it's going to be going for the win at the end. I don't see any mid-race cautions. The way these guys have been very respectful and giving each other space and seeming to be rather patient with their moves. Brandon's still loading his thoughts.
What does Brandon think?
I would have to guess just you know, random thoughts. Still processing. I would
yes
say
no,
that maybe at least one caution. Maybe
okay.
At least one caution in between now and the end of this race.
Brandon's thinking about his Subway sandwiches and his Pepsi and
Brandon.exe has stopped working.
hashtag not a sponsor, but if you would like to sponsor us, please contact us from primetimeracing.tv.
Subway sandwiches. You want Subway to sponsor the channel? That'd be pretty huge.
That would be awesome.
So while things have kind of fizzled up here just a little bit, we are going to step away here to a side-by-side break. We'll cut back if anything happens, but stay tuned. We'll be right back with you.
Red Bull GRCs are now available on iRacing. I personally put my blood, sweat, and tears into this thing, developing the cars, the tracks, the dirt, making sure it is authentic as possible, and I really think you guys are going to love it. The best part is that this 600 horsepower Volkswagen Beetle is free to all members. So get signed up now and come race me online.
Hello and welcome back, everybody, to the Integrity Racing League, the below the yellow 250 here, and looks like we got a little bit of racing going on here up in front of this lead pack.
That battle for the lead going on. The 45 of Nieto is on the outside groove. He has the run on the outside of Trevor Ropolo. Side by side with a little bit of an edge goes the 45 up top.
45 will clear and drop down in front of that number 90 machine. Now we'll see the 48 of Adam de Blasio, who's now leading the outside lane, if he can get up there and try and take that lead from that 45.
Yeah, 48 machine leading that outside line now. Big push right on the back bumper is that 25 machine, and a huge shot and trying to get that 48 machine up there. It's working.
There he is, the 48 with the push from the number 25 of Thies in the 25. He is right behind him. 5 drivers to the top, about 8 to the bottom. And Lapper up front. I'm wondering if the 48 will try to get a little bit of a draft up there off him.
Coming up on the 29, up there in that third lane, letting everyone go by on the bottom.
That's Alan Pahari going 1 lap down. Gives us 30 drivers here on the lead lap as we are just past the halfway point in the race. Here comes the 48. He has a pretty good head of steam.
48 up on the upper line now. Now trying to get by the 45 machine. Now down through turns 1 and 2 rather.
Down the Alabama gang super stretch here at Talladega. The 48 does have the edge. He has the ability to clear and drop down to the bottom if he chooses to do so. Drop the 25 up top by himself, and he kind of will straddle both lanes here at the moment.
Yeah, the 25 Tice was clear, but he chose to stay up there in that outside lane, as did the 48.
A little bit of teamwork going on here. The 48 had his opportunity, and he...
Oh, that was a close call right there. The 25 machine sandwiched in between the 11 and the 48, both making contact with each other's bumpers. That was a sketchy situation.
I'll tell you, there must be some legitimate teamwork going on with the 48 and the 25, because the 48 has had many of opportunities to drop to the bottom, but he is choosing loyal there up top.
Once again, getting a pretty good push down the back straightaway. I don't think he'll be able to be cleared through 3 and 4. Yes, he will, and he will drop down, lead that 25 of Tice up there. So now 25 leading the outside lane with help from the 11 of Eric de Blasio, who is a lap car.
Apparently he must have gave him enough tries. He gave him about 3 or 4 tries to see if he could clear the 25 as well, but he was not able to do so, so he ran out of his patience and did what he had to do. 48 up front now, leading this charge now, lap number 53. Outside now just consists of the 25 of these, and the 11 machine is the lap down car of Eric de Blasio. And other than that, everyone is ring around the bottom.
Yeah, the field pretty spread out here for what it is at Talladega. So, you know, quick spurts with battles for the lead and everything else, but right back to single file racing for the most part.
As we are clicking off the laps here and just waiting for the next spurt of action to happen, do want to make known to everybody watching on PTRTV that we do have our American Sim Racing Series on Tuesday nights. We have Wednesday nights free at the moment, Thursday Rivalry Racing, Friday Hardline Racing League. So I want to make sure you stay tuned in for all the action, and we do have the Racer's Mind going off on Wednesday night. Our podcast style show will be doing a 10-year review of the iRacing service in collaboration with Pit Stop Interactive TV with Angel Cardinal. So you want to make sure you stay tuned in 7:45 Eastern on Wednesday to catch that.
Should be some good shows there, so you know, keep an eye out, folks. Should be some Pretty good entertainment here on PTRTV as every week. Things getting a little bit sketchy back there, but it looks like everything starting to clear out. Those guys settle down here up at the front.
Yeah, only about 2 or 3, only one car up in the outside lane now, as it looks like the 45 is trying to take a look to the outside the 48, but he is staying in line for now. Oh, 24 round.
Oh, caution on the speedway.
First wreck of the race, 24, Chris Scheltzer is around in corner 3 and 4. We'll go back on the PTRTV replay, see what we can figure out. See if they're on the back straightaway here. He gave a push to the 17 machine of Frolich, and then the 28 Lee Pierce was behind him, and a little bit of checkup, maybe a little bit of not lined up, and
couple of hard hits from some of those guys back there.
So the 25, the 53, and the 4 also involved.
So first caution of the race, and this will be on lap 56, and this will give us about 38 to go. So I'd have to imagine we are in the fuel window to finish the race, so I would expect pit road to be a very busy place.
But do you want tires or not?
I'd say at this point, why not?
Looks like a lot of people did do 4 tire stops on their green flag stops, so.
Yeah, the cars do start to get a little bit ill handling here on the older tires, especially here at Talladega, so maybe not a bad call. Especially if you're planning to get, you know, a little bit more aggressive as the race goes on.
See the 48 leading most of the field. I think all the lead lappers down on pit road.
Yeah, we will see what the strategy call is for these drivers. If we are going to go 4 in fuel, if we're going to go splash of gas too, we'll see what happens here. They didn't pit too long ago, so they shouldn't need too much fuel in the tanks.
45 missed his pit stall by a lot.
Yeah, had to back in, so that'll cost him some time as the race off pit road is already beginning. Couple drivers with 7-second stops. That would indicate 2 tires, or actually 7 seconds will only be about a splash of gas, I do believe.
0-6. Looks like he just drove through pit road. I'm assuming he missed his pit stall.
He did get scored as the lap leader, so if it was a mistake, he at least got that for it. Did manage to get a lap, so that works out at least in that regard for him, but Lee Pierce did get the battle off pit road of those who actually did take service. De Blasio came out after him, then Don Stevenson, Trevor Opolo, and Tom Wetmore. So while we are under caution here, we will, again, sorry for the commercials, but these are long cautions at Talladega. So stay with us, guys. We'll be right back with you for the restart here for Integrity Racing on PTRTV.
The car behind me is my Chili Bowl midget, the one that I won the Chili Bowl with. And what's interesting about that is it's actually the car that iRacing scanned that's going to be available to all the iRacing members out there.
here of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Will it be Tim Hogan? It's going to be Christopher DeMary at the line.
And we're back here on PTRTV for the Below the Yellow 250 here live on PTRTV Integrity Racing League. We are wrapping up the first caution of tonight's race here on lap number 59. And 3 and 4 are waiting for a restart.
Coming through 3 and 4 now. 28 of Lee Pierce leading this field. Adam de Blasio in second. Don Stevenson in third. Trevor Rugglo in fourth. And around the top 5, Tom Wetmore.
Yep, so that is the top 5 right now on lap number 59. Taking lap number 60, we still have 31 drivers on the lead lap. Only 2 drivers out of the race. 35 still running on the racetrack. Coming through the end of the trioval here, or the beginning of the trioval rather, at Talladega. Pace car is in. We go through the center of the trioval here, awaiting for the green flag. 28 of Pierce to the inside, de Blasio to the outside, Ropolo and Stevenson in row number 2. Here we come, waiting for the 28. Green flag in the air. We're racing back at Talladega.
Good restart there for that bottom line. A lot of pushing and shoving going on here on this restart, the first one of the night for these guys. Now the 48 looking to get a run up on a higher line, but these guys just not formed up at all.
28 of Pierce will clear for the lead, and then the 47 of Don Stevenson will also clear. So now the 48 of de Blasio and the 42 of Wetmore side by side.
Heading down into turn number 3 now. These guys trying to get formed up. Looks like it may be the bottom line that will prevail. Those 3 cars up on a high side right now, just sitting ducks. And now, barely clearing there for the lead was the 47 machine. Now the 28 looking for the lead up on a high side. Not going to work that time. By 48 was already there.
While this racing is going on, we're going to let you feel the thunder here and crank up the engine sound. So enjoy the 200-mile-an-hour speeds. And hope you enjoyed that segment here we've been introducing here on the channel, but we are back racing on lap number 63 still, and They have singled out for about the first 10 positions. Don Stevenson being the driver leading the charge right now.
Yeah, it looks like it's turning into a train along the bottom here once again, but you guys know how quickly that can change just from, you know, a single move and guys wanting to follow certain drivers and, you know, to get that second line going here again shouldn't be that difficult, especially this late in the race.
Yeah, this late in the race, these drivers should be able to get more drivers to work with them if that's what they are ready to do, but it is still early, and remember, we should not be seeing any more pit stops, especially after that last caution. Everyone should have enough gas to make it to the finish, so it's really just going to be a matter of, I'd say, waiting till 10 to go.
But some of the guys further in the back, they can't wait to go, because if they wait that long, they might not be able to get up to the front.
And just as I was saying, here comes the top line once again.
Yes, they are. Here comes the 40. Who is that up top? There's so many.
42 of Wetmore.
There's so many rainbow paint schemes, I can't tell them apart. We have the 42 of Wetmore, the 51 of Weisenhower, the 48 of Adam de Blasio. Top three running the charge up top right now. They do have the door-to-door advantage over the 47 by a mere inches. We'll see who gets it at the stripe.
30 laps to go this time behind the 42, gets it at the stripe there, up in the high line. If they can keep that momentum, he should be able to clear this lap, possibly down the back straightaway.
If he gets the edge, will he clear and leave the 51 up top? Actually, I don't know if he's going to be able to clear in the first place. So that will obviously negate that opportunity, and they come down the back straightaway into corner number 3. 42 still has the advantage of the bottom. Here he comes to the inside.
The 47 with the advantage out of turn number 4. Should have it at the line, but we'll see, because that 42 in the outside lane is getting a pretty good run through the tribal.
51,
yes, he is.
taking a look to the top.
Steam.
I don't know if Eisenhower was getting some fresh air, if he was seeing if something was going to make do in the third lane, but does stay back into line behind the number 42 machine, and we'll see if 42 can get wound up down the back straightaway.
Things starting to get a little bit stacked up there on that outside line. Round goes the 42 into the center of the pack. Big wreck down the back straightaway. Caution flag is on the speedway.
Second caution, 42, 44, 62 of Badel all the way to the inside. Eric de Blasio in the 21 involved. Kirkman, the 542 of Wetmore has an expired engine, so
I saw things are starting to get stacked up in that higher line, guys, and the 51 got a shove from behind and nowhere to go but into the back bumper of that 42 machine, turning him to the outside, and a couple of really big hits. The 5 machine hit him and spun down to the bottom. I'm really impressed that more cars weren't involved, but I see about maybe 4 or 5 cars involved in that one.
Yep, and remember, we don't have backup cars, so any damage to those machines is going to be, if it's engine damage, it's going to be terminal, but if it's aero damage, I hope it's not that bad, because they will not be getting that thing back up to full song, so we'll see what kind of repairs can be done. But Don Stevenson in the 47 leading the charge here in that 47 machine. He will get them wound up, and I don't expect pit stops from anybody up front, but we will see what happens.
I think we'll only see cars on pit road if there is if they do have damage.
So let's see what the survey says here. They are in the tri-oval. Opening to pit road is right here, and no takers up front. Not much, not really to any surprise.
It looks like just the cars with damage that are coming down. So, once again, folks, we hate to have so many commercials, but the caution periods here at Talladega are just so long, we can't possibly ramble on for for that long of a period. So we'll be right back. Stick around here on PTR TV right after this quick commercial break.
yellow flag is out. Pit road is now open. Keep your eye on those gauges. We'll give you 4 tyres. 3, 2, 1, now. We're done. Get going.
Red Bull GRC is now available on iRacing. I personally put my blood, sweat, and tears into this thing, developing the cars, the tracks, the dirt, making sure it is authentic as possible, and I really think you guys are going to love it. The best part is that this 600 horsepower Volkswagen Beetle is free to all members. So get signed up now and come race me online.
When I was 16 years old, I was working in a Goodyear tire store, and my boss actually built an old dirt car, street stock Monte Carlo. Went with him one night, fell in love with it. It was a hell of a race, hell of a party, and a big fight afterwards. I was like, this is it. This is it for me. It wasn't long after that, I was driving an old 78 Camaro out of the weeds at that guy's farm. We pulled that thing out and made a race car out of it, and away we went. You know, I think a driver has more to do with the equation going back and racing dirt, whether it's a modified, a late model. You can do more with the race car, you know.
And welcome back to PTRTV's coverage of the Integrity Racing League Cup Series here at Talladega for the below the yellow 250. Coming through turns number 3 and 4 now. Get ready to get back to the green.
Lee Pierce in the number 28 to the outside, the second position, but your leader is the number 47 of Don Stevenson. We have 24 laps to go out of this 250-mile race. It only had 2 cautions. It is winding up really quickly here at Talladega, but the pace car is in, so we are ready to take it away.
The field rolling down through the Talladega Tri-Oval, now ready to take the green flag. They're stacked up, doubled up, ready to go. Green flag racing. The flag is in the hands of the starter. Green flag back in the air.
And look at how separated the top 4 drivers are from the remainder of the field. We'll see if that allows a run to get stacked up.
Because now the top 6 or 7 is all single file. Top 8, 9, 10 now.
Yeah, that really helps that 47 machine of Don Stevenson now. So, yeah, that's a majority of the field already single file off that restart. Great job. It's exactly what the leader wanted to see.
Single file almost all the way to the 17th position, I believe, is the first car stepped up to the top of the racetrack. So we really are not seeing much go on up front. These guys try to kill some laps and wait for the last run.
I think these guys want to run green to the end. They're not racing at all right now, just running single file.
Well, some of these guys want to go, and you can tell they just need the help.
Really can't go until you get like 7 or 8 people that want to go with you.
Oh, 51 of Eisenhower there, straddling the yellow line there. Kind of made me a little nervous that he was going to get hook himself, but managed to get onto the and continue with that car.
Oh, a couple of guys still trying to pop out of line here. They don't want to be racing single file right now, and you can tell.
Yeah, but a couple of drivers don't want to run single file, but a lot of other drivers do. We are up to 20 drivers in this lead train here on the bottom. Pretty much one continuous loop. We do have a little bit of a space in between, but they should be able to close that back up, and then we're double file, about mid-20s on back.
28 machine right onto the back bumper of that 47. Now he gave him a huge push. Now heading down into turn number 1. A couple of drivers making a move to the outside line. Now the 51 machine almost lost his place on the inside there. We're trying to maybe see if anybody would go with him. Not going to work that time by. The 28 machine literally right on the back bumper of that 47 machine, pushing him down the back straightaway, something that he's got to watch out for. All it takes is one wrong move, and that 47 machine is head on to the outside wall.
Yeah, but at least for right now, that 28 is doing a really nice job to be able to stay on his bumper and push him, not turn him, and he's just giving him a really good push.
Absolutely, not many people are able to pull that off. Not many people even able to get to the back bumper completely to the car in front of him. So props to that 28 machine for making that work and holding this field single file for the most part, really.
Yeah, but we've got one car up there in the outside lane now, the 43.
That's William Dunn up there in that 43 machine. Nobody going with him.
And he is side by side with Neil Frolich in the 17, but there really is no opportunity for him to drop down to the bottom of the racetrack, so he will go choo to the back of the train here, and that may be to about 20th position.
He will go choo 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 to the back of the train.
I've used that one for quite a while now.
I know you used it before, but I've never really picked up on it until now.
Oh, actually, there does appear to be a little bit of a gap opening in between the 45 and the 73 if they're able to take advantage of it, if they want to take advantage of it. 05 has an opportunity, but he will, he's going to commit to the top.
Yeah, 05 went out there with the 43.
Oh, here we go. We're turned. We wrecked.
No caution. Everybody avoids it.
We wrecked, but we didn't wreck. That was the 50 of Joshua Campbell there. Try to go back and see what happened to him. See, he is running by himself. Well, he's running in pretty spaced out situation now, but the 94 just got him in the left rear in turn 1 and 2. And how did he save that car?
He just had that gun good.
Evidently, because but now to his detriment, he's in 28th. Absolutely in the middle of nowhere right now, so he will have to wait till something happens if it does. But up front, we are double file for the entire front pack.
Yeah, that one from single file to double file real fast, as we've seen pretty much all night. That 51 machine of Eisenhower up on the high side, trying to get something done with that second line.
Yeah, Eisenhower now side by side for the lead with that 47, dropping back a little bit through the center of 3 and 4. But they should get a pretty good run off the corner and down the front straightaway.
Heading down through the Talladega Triumphal now. Eisenhower's got some pretty good push power from that 43 machine. A couple of guys trying to hang on to the tail end of that group back there, but not affecting the racing up towards the front at all. And that 51 machine struggling a little bit to hold that hold its position up there in the second line.
Yeah, 43 of Dunn gives him a push here and down the middle of the back straightaway, and we do have the 28 thought about going to the top.
The 28 almost got shoved out of line there, almost forced to go in the center of the universe there, as I haven't been able to use that phrase in a long time. And now drifts up the racetrack, almost gets hooked by the 16, almost contact with a 51 machine as well. Yeah. Somehow keeps a handle on that race car. These guys keep going, but that checked up the bottom line a ton.
Yes, it did. They did lose a little bit of speed here, but the top is kind of fizzled out in terms of car quantity. Still only have the 51, the 43, but here comes the 48 of de Blasio and the 90 of Ropolo to the top. That's going to get them a lot of momentum.
Yeah, absolutely. Just adding more cars to the upper line. Eisenhower trying to get the side draft off the bottom line now. Now heading down into turn number 3. Eisenhower, the momentum, diving down into the corner, maybe trying to get a little bit of a run here off the top. And now coming down off of turn number 4, it's going to be the high line with the speed.
Here it comes. Eisenhower has the speed he needs. He should be able to clear. Actually, I'm not sure if he's going to be able to as we come to the stripes. Take 16 laps to go.
He's clear. Eisenhower was clear for a split second. Now drops down to the bottom. Caution on the speedway.
Chris Schultzer, 24 machine, and Eric de Blasio. They are slow here. We'll see what happened to both of those drivers.
Looks like just a small group of 5 cars back there. Looks like trying to get around the damaged race car of the 78. The 78 dives it down up high. The 11 makes a move down to the bottom of the 24. And contact between those two drivers sends them through the grass. 24 goes up the racetrack, and heavy contact with the outside safer barrier.
I'm trying to see which driver it may have been pinned on. To see the 11, I think he had a run, but not enough. And the 24 went for a block, but a little bit too late on it. So kind of a racing deal on both ends there, but that will give us a restart, guys, with pushing 10 laps to go. So we had a very clean first half of the race, and it's going to turn into a pretty much a Talladega brawl.
Yeah, I'm still super impressed by the way that these guys are handling the race cars, however, and you know, to drive that aggressively this late in the race and not to have a caution, you know, every other lap, Like, yeah, we've had a few cautions here towards the end of this race, but believe me, it can be much, much worse. These guys doing an awesome job driving these race cars here tonight.
Yeah, well, this is only our third caution for about 7 or 8 laps approximately at this point. And like I said, we've had 3 cautions. I mean, we've all done our share of racing here this week on iRacing on the official side. We've had 3 cautions in a 30-lap race. So to do it in nearly 80, that is definitely a good sign for this league and these drivers.
I've had 3 cautions in 15 laps here. In some official races.
Yeah, absolutely. Looks like, to no surprise, none of the leaders heading down pit road.
So right now we do have 30 drivers still on the lead lap. We may have one more. I'm not sure if one of the lucky dogs or someone will get the lucky dog. But we should have at least 30 on the lead lap and 10 laps to go. And we've seen who is kind of the cream of the crop, or at least the guys that are really the ones to watch out for. So I'm going to say, guys, take your picks.
Brandon, who do you want?
Well, of course you're going to make me go first.
I'll go first. I'm taking the 48.
Okay, interesting pick. Give it to you. Anybody can win Talladega. You know, I really like, and he's going to look like a sitting duck, but I really like the way that the 51 is driving a race car. I really like a lot of the moves that he's made tonight. I think that 51 machine could end up in victory lane.
Yeah, Eisenhower, he's been side drafting pretty well. I'm going to go with Trevor Ropolo with a 90.
Okay. So Evan choosing the 90. So Corey's got the 48, I got the 51, Evan choosing the 90.
Can I just improve my odds and say I want to go with a car that has a rainbow-esque paint scheme?
Yeah,
and doesn't it have a cat on it too?
These, we were informed before the broadcast started that now I don't know all the details, but apparently a lot of these drivers lost a bet, and I don't quite remember who they lost the bet to, but they had to run a paint scheme of the winner's choice, and well, these are Rainbow Warrior paint schemes with cats all over it. So,
I mean, I don't see an issue with it, honestly.
It's actually his cat named Cupcake, as it says on the side of all the cars. So
I noticed there's a lot of those out here.
I'm impressed. He made one for, it seems like, every manufacturer. So
yeah, I've seen some Toyotas, a Chevy. I don't know if I've seen a Ford.
No, I don't. Well, we don't think we have many Fords in the field, period. But
that's not a problem.
No, Corey doesn't mind that.
Oh, there is a Ford here back in the number 8th position. Is actual Samuel Nato. He is a Ford, and we have 73 of Jason Miller. Let's try to find a couple other ones here. Not many, as you said. Alan Pahari and the retired vehicle of Camilo Thompson. So Ford does not have its sharehold this race.
I mean, Ford really doesn't have many races in any NASCAR or in any iRacing race. They don't have any cars.
That is until they update with the Mustang and everything, because then you're probably gonna end up seeing a bunch of them. But
yeah, and there's gonna be even more Camaros than there are SSs right now.
What he said.
Like probably half the field right now is a SS, and there's gonna be even more once the Camaro comes out.
Yeah.
Can we just go back to 2003 and have the Grand Prix back? Because that was the best one.
Yeah. I mean, I was very little, but that was... I really liked the look of those cars.
And who was it? Ricky Craven, I think. I think Ricky Craven had a Pontiac when he won the that Darlington battle.
Yes, because they
had the kick out on the nose.
Yeah, the commentator, the little extra length on the nose.
Crossover move. He got into him. We won't do that.
I know Corey knows everywhere from that.
They touch.
As he's been saying for the last 3 days.
More than that.
Well, hey, we had a pretty good battle yesterday. In case anybody's ever bored and they want something to do, take the street stocks at Darlington. That is a very good time.
That's like the best combo ever.
That was a blast until my internet connection
dropped. It shouldn't be fun. It shouldn't be,
but it was
the
a
two
mix
best
of like,
places to take street stocks is Darlington and Five Flags.
Yeah, well, Darlington was like a mix of drafting and you could beat and bang, and it was ridiculous fun.
And even Loudon, we don't really like it in many regards. I mean, many people hate Loudon, but no, that was actually a pretty good track as well. So
no, it wasn't.
So street stocks on ovals, you know. Even on some of the larger ovals.
I wouldn't so much take one here, but...
No, probably not here.
I know it's been done.
I don't know, yeah, I know it's been done. I don't know how fun it would really be. Hit one to green here. These guys will get stacked up, doubled up, ready to go racing. So,
there'll be 11 laps to go in the race, and remember the iRacing cutoff lap is, I'm going to err on the side of caution and say about 6 laps to go, so any yellow flag in that 6 to go and later time frame will end the race behind the pace cars, so these guys have to race with that in mind, knowing that the race could end anything after 6 to go, so they really need to make their passes immediately.
It's, I can't help but to laugh at the field full of Rainbow Warrior cupcake kitties.
I don't see anything wrong with
it. Sounds like something you'd buy at the hostess aisle at your local supermarket.
The cupcake kitties.
I mean, we have what, zebra cakes.
I could hear the commercial for it now. Oh my!
Put it on a T-shirt.
Cupcake kitties.
.com.
CupcakeKitty.com, where your cupcake kitty can come to life.
Anyways, this is what happens when you have 10-minute cautions and you evade going to commercial break. So,
yeah, we didn't want to bring another commercial, so we decided to finally.
It's basically the conversation that we have when we're on commercial.
Yeah, pretty much. So, a little bit of hopefully a little bit of entertainment for you guys, but ready to go back racing now. Pace car will be making its way down into pit lane this time by revealed, ready to go back racing, being led by that 51 machine of Eisenhower. Pace car rolls down into pit lane. A little bit of a wait before these guys to get back to green flag racing. 51 machine ready to get back on the throttle. Now here he goes. Green flag is back in the air at Talladega.
Jump to the 51 by about a car length over the 47 and the 43. The 43 out to dry there on the outside. No help for about 3 or 4 car lengths.
Only 3 cars out there in the outside lane. I fear more drivers would be staying out there trying to make their way up through the field.
Aggressive drop to the bottom there for the 43 behind the 28. Caution
on the speedway once again. Car hard.
Jason Miller stuck on the safer barrier there. I haven't seen that one before, but
wow, he must have hit really hard for that to happen.
Go on replay here. Jason Miller just shifting into 4th gear, and he got hooked, and then he got hooked again, and that was a very sudden stop. And he's still stuck there.
Yeah, he's
he should just stay there for the rest of the race.
Moved. Well, he's trying to get himself unstuck, but not much luck.
Trying to avoid the tow truck, but I'm pretty sure that's going to be pretty inevitable, Jason.
If he was the other way, he'd have a really good view of the race. Just chill there and watch it and hope they don't go 3 wide.
So
yeah, nobody ever uses that 3rd lane iRacing. What are you talking about?
So Caleb Eisenhower is the leader now, taking it away from Stevenson, and we will avoid that banter again. Obviously, we just finished a yellow. We are on another one here. We should have one final chance to end this race under green. We should go back racing with about 5 to go, so we will be back with you for that final restart, so stay with us.
A lot of times, the better it goes. You can crawl up on that wheel and feel like you made the difference at the end of the night. Asphalt car, you can't overdrive them. Well, that was the first thing that I had to learn right off the bat is, oh my gosh, I've got to discipline myself, not overdrive this thing, and that's how you get the most out of it. Truth be told, communicating the right information to your crew and your crew chief so they can do their job and make their appropriate adjustments for you to go faster and do your job is probably 90% of the game in our world. I've always loved late models. You know, my dream was to be a late model driver driving for a living across the country like Daryl and Don do that drive for me. I mean, that was, truth be told, that was my dream, you know. I always wanted a semi. I always wanted a stacker trailer with 2 hot rods in it and let's go racing. Let's take off with your buddies and go race and chase that dream. Never in a million years did I think it would turn into a Cup Series, and I actually have an opportunity to own 2 you know, dirt late model teams. When you think of iRacing, you don't think of a video game. It's not. It's way above and beyond any of that. You know, dirt racing changes so much. The track changes so much. Being able to capture that, to, you know, experience all those details that surround dirt racing and make dirt racing what it is what makes iRacing so cool, because they did nail all of that. I knew when they came to our shop and scanned cars and went to the detail of getting that car right, I knew that it was going to be over the top, because it blew my mind just the work that went into making sure the car itself was legit. This sport has been around a long time. The competition can't be replaced, and that's what brings people back to the racetrack week in and week out.
And welcome back to PTRTV. We are on the what should be the final restart of the race here, about to take 6 laps to go. And was it Don Stevenson, I believe, is leading the race on the inside groove. He is, and Caleb Eisenhower on the outside. So this will be the final restart of the race, guys.
Yep, so looks like Eisenhower has elected to take the high side for this restart out of the lead. Interesting choice. Corey, what do you think the strategy is on that?
Teammate. That's all. I don't know if for a fact, but it's the only thing I could think of.
Yeah, I would imagine so. So find out if it works out for him. Well, the 43 and the 51 have been working pretty well together pretty much this whole race. And 43, very good pusher. So pace car now down into pit lane. These guys stacked up, doubled up, ready to go back. Green flag racing for the final time tonight here at Talladega. Eisenhower on the throttle. Green flag is back in the air.
I think Eisenhower got a little bit too far ahead, but he is actually coming back to them. We're cutting down in front of that 47. He's going to hang on to the lead.
Major blocking. Man, oh man, now the 43 somehow manages to squeeze into that little gap. I didn't think there would be enough room for a car to get down there. These guys mostly single file now.
Yeah, but this is the time you got to make it happen. This is the end of the race. The race is going to be over at this point if another caution comes out, so you got to make it happen, and it's not happening right now. Everyone's in a train.
Everyone in a train indeed, and we know that these guys want to go somewhere. It's just they gotta find the help to do it. Now, when are you going to make that move? That's the bigger question. Eisenhower still out here in front.
Yeah, top 20 are all single file, so they have to start going now.
Yeah, similar to the real world NASCAR Monster Energy Cup Series where we battled throughout the entire race, but when it matters, nobody's making a move, so I'd have to imagine someone's going to try something. But if you're not in the top 10 spots, I can't really see you having any chance at this point.
Absolutely,
even top 5 for that matter.
Well, we are under 5 to go now. The 43 ducks out of line to make a move. Nobody's going with him. Couple of guys now trying to make a move to the outside, further back in the pack, but that does not help that 43 at all right now. Looks like 28 maybe looking to the outside. Nobody planning to go with them there either. Yeah. These guys have to get going. So they're going to get something done here against Eisenhower.
Yeah, so the 43, he took a stab at it. It was a failed attempt. Now it is 4 laps to go in the race. Who is going to be the next one? Is there any underlying team strategies that are going to deploy right now?
The 28 machine gets shoved out of line now. Now gets led back in, but that was a sketchy situation.
Now the 92 and the 05 up there in the outside lane. Looks like they're the only ones up there right now.
Heading down out of turn number 4 now. Now heading down through the tri-oval.
3 to go. We have some drivers at the end of this pack here trying to go side by side. That is Bruce Ackerman in the 92 with the help from the 05 of Greg Trego, but they're going to need more help than that. 3 laps to go. Who is going to be the one person up front to get it started?
That is the big question now. Down out of turn number 2, down the back straightaway. These guys doing a lot of ducking, bobbing, and weaving, and you can tell the guys that really want to go somewhere, but if you're that second place driver, you can't make a move too early, and if you're in the back, you gotta go now.
Yeah, we saw the outside is able to make passes. You are able to clear as the leader and gain that position, but it takes a good 3 or so laps to get that momentum built up. So at this point, I don't know if that's going to happen. I don't know what approach these guys are going to use, but they're going to have to do it quickly.
2 laps to go now. When are they going to make their move?
Can they even make their move? Is there enough time to get momentum built up?
There's enough time for the guys up front, but for the guys towards the back of the pack, it's just not going to happen. These guys gotta go now if they're gonna make a move. It takes a little bit of time for these Gen 6 machines to get wound up at the high side.
Yep, we are coming through 3 and 4 for the second to last time here, coming through the tri-oval here.
Caution on the speedway just before taking the white flag. Caleb Eisenhower going to win it at Talladega Super Speedway.
Michael Duell spinning through the grass there, and I don't know what else instigated that, but we'll try to find it. And this is all the way in the last, like the damage pack of cars. He was getting pushed by the 36 of Jacob Fife, and fortunately, it was a wreck at the back of the pack that took any chance away for the leaders.
Well, you can't wait when it comes down to trying to make the move against the leader here at Talladega. You gotta find your partner and you gotta go for it. And, well, these guys, they didn't go, and I'm sure they were probably waiting until the last lap, but right before taking the white flag, caution flag comes out on the speedway. Caleb Eisenhower will hang on to the lead, and he will come home with the victory here tonight.
Yeah, it is a part of plate racing where you want to be patient and not make your move too early, but where we don't have the green-white checkers here at iRacing, you never know when that race could be over with that final caution. And fortunately, it ended, unfortunately for those drivers, it ended the race 1 lap short, but fortunately for the 51, he negates any potential last lap passes, and he will come through the tri-oval and win this race.
As these guys pacing down through the Talladega tri-oval. Now behind the iRacing official pace car, it'll be the checkered and yellow waving together, the number 51, Caleb Eisenhower, holding on to the lead to get the victory here from Talladega Super Speedway. Caleb Eisenhower wins it.
All right, so we offer our congratulations to the winner, Caleb Eisenhower, for his win tonight. So stay tuned. In just a moment, we will have the post-race show. Hopefully have some of these drivers for their feedback after tonight's race. So again, stay with us.
I grew up in Northern California. My parents were just really big race fans and took my sister and I to, sprint car races pretty much every Friday and Saturday night. So I did outlaw kart racing from 7 till I was 14. And then that's when I got into 360 and 410 wing sprint cars. There's just something about dirt racing that's just, you can't get anywhere else. I enjoy going back to race them whenever I can. I get to run, you know, about 20 to 25 dirt races a year and try and, you know, put on a show every time I'm there.
Battle for the lead. Kyle Larson to the inside.
And we're back here on PTRTV for the post-race show. We, at the moment, have at least 2 of the top 3 finishers here tonight for post-race interviews. So Evan Block has caught up with your 2nd place finisher of Don Stevenson.
So, Don, you come up with a 2nd place finish here tonight at Talladega. What are your thoughts after tonight's race?
I mean, it was a great race. I mean, the first half of the race was really clean. Went the first, I don't know, 50 laps green or so, and put ourselves in a good spot there. And, you know, we managed to get the lead there with about 35 to go, and, you know, thought I was going to have a real shot at it there, but then, you know, Caleb and William there, they got a heck of a run on the outside, got around me, and just didn't have enough green flag laps to get it back.
Do you think if that stayed green there at the end, do you think you would have been able to get by him?
I think I might have had something for him. You know, it all depended on if Lee was going to go with me. I was pretty much waiting till the last lap because just the outside line on that last run was not together at all, and it was all on the inside line. If you make the move too early there, you fall back to 15th or 20th, and I was running too good tonight to risk that. So I was more or less going to wait to the back stretch, and, you know, and I think Lee might have gone with me, but, you know, you don't know. And caution came out with a quarter lap to go there with 2 to go, and didn't have the opportunity.
All right, well, is there anyone you would like to thank or shout out to after your 2nd place run here tonight at Talladega?
Thank you. Yeah, I got to thank Mom, Dad. You know, Mom, the breast cancer awareness scheme there. Thoughts always with her, and love my dad, love my wonderful wife, allowing me to race. You guys with Prime Time Racing TV, doing the broadcasting, and Integrity Racing League for the great league they got here.
All right, well, once again, congrats on your 2nd place finish, and thanks for talking with us. And now Brandon Krutz has caught up with your winner here tonight, Caleb Eisenhower.
Yeah, he's climbed out of the race car. Now your winner here at Talladega, Caleb Eisenhower. Caleb, how you feeling?
Pretty good, pretty good.
Man, tell us a little bit about your race. I mean, you come home with an awesome victory here tonight. You know, how you feeling coming out of the race car? And just run us down through your race a little bit.
Well, first off, I want to apologize to Tom Wetmore and everyone that I took out in that wreck. Running really hot trying to get him to the lead, and kind of breathed it out a little bit and went back down and thought I was clear, and I wasn't, and caused that big pileup. So I want to apologize first to everyone involved in that. Other than that, it was a pretty fun race. Amazing how on lap 3 we're 3 wide and everybody's moving outside trying to get the lead, and then when it's 2 to go, nobody wants to make a move. So there at the end, I was just trying to keep everybody stacked up. Don was trying to lay back a little bit, and I would lay back to him and try to keep them stacked where they couldn't really make any moves without someone giving them a huge push. So just maintaining the lead there at the end, and came home and got us a win. I'm glad I got a win this week because I will be suspended for next week for that caution.
Well, unfortunate break for you in that aspect, but you did come home with a solid win here tonight. You know, tell us what was going through your head there in those final few laps.
Like I said, I was just trying to keep them stacked. I figured Don probably would wait till at least, you know, 2 to go, maybe even white flag to make a move. I know there's a lot of people getting impatient back there, which I would have made a move a lot sooner because I knew there's probably gonna be a caution. But like I said, I was just trying to keep everybody stacked and together, and nobody spread out where anybody can get any runs and get it to the outside and make any moves. And other than that, just avoiding wrecks. I caused a wreck and avoided some, so that was overall first plate win in the league. Surprisingly, I feel like I'm a really good plate racer. Just usually we've had group qualifying, and I've never done good in group qualifying. I finally qualify up front and able to stay there pretty much for the whole night, and so a lot easier to stay up front than it is come from the back, because it's hard to pass out there. Everybody thinks plate racing it's easy to pass, but it's hard to pass. So if you get the lead and hold it, that's the thing to do.
Well, yeah, once again, awesome job. Is there anyone that you'd like to give a shout out to for your victory here tonight?
Yeah, I think first off, thank Adam Blasio for the beautiful paint scheme. I'm not really a cat dude, but digging it. Thank you to Tom Wetmore for spotting me after I wrecked him. He spotted me the last 10 laps and let me know what was going on, so I told him I would spot him next week at Dover. Unfortunately, Dover's one of my favorite tracks, but we won't be there. And thanks to everybody at Gale Force Racing, my teammates, drivers Nick Ottinger and Matt Busa. And thank y'all for broadcasting.
Well, awesome victory here tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, your winner from Talladega Super Speedway, Caleb Eisenhower.
All right, so that is the top two. Unfortunately, we don't have Lee Pierce, who finished in third, so we will wrap up coverage tonight with the final rundown here from Talladega Super Speedway. With the victory tonight, the 51 machine of Caleb Eisenhower led 17 laps in tonight's race. Don Stevenson with his second led 16. Lee Pierce in third, Adam de Blasio in fourth, Trevor Ropolo in fifth, Lance Gentles in sixth, and then rounding out your top 10, Samuel Nato, Greg Trego, William Dunn, and Bruce Ackerman.
And coming home in 11th was Guillermo Alvarez, Neil Froelich in 12th, Mark Robertson in 13th, Alan Roll in 14th, Brad Patton in 15th, and then around the rest of the top 20, Jay Heishman, Cody Smith, Christopher Halling, Alan Payari, and Randy Fayosh ran out of that top 20.
Remaining results will flash by on the screen here to round out the field here tonight, and Brandon will take it away here for tonight's ending of the broadcast.
Yeah, you know, obviously, the crew, a huge part of this. Our producer, Corey Silva, Evan Black, one of our commentators here, Joe Chris, behind the scenes here every night for us, for our quality control specialists, and everyone else who makes this channel happen. And, of course, our channel sponsors here, you know, Air Movement and Fabrications, been with us so pretty much since the start of the channel. So, huge thanks to them over there. Also, Krutz Custom Graphics, my company. Be sure to check me out on Facebook, facebook.com/KrutzGraphics, or at KrutzGraphics on any social media. Also, iBog, iRacing Broadcast Overlay Graphics, custom graphics, coding, and theme design. They did our overlays. If you're interested, if you're a broadcast company, be sure to check out and talk to Jason Allison over there. He does an awesome job with things. And also, be sure to check out our Patreon. It really does help us out to keep our low prices and with a super fast growing channel like this, you know, and try to keep everything up to date. It really does help us out and helps out the league owners to bring you this awesome coverage at an affordable price. So, everybody, that is another broadcast here on PTRTV. Corey Silva, our producer slash commentator. I'm Brandon Krutz, joined by Evan Black and Joe Chris behind the scenes every night. Everybody, be sure to check us out tomorrow night for the ASRS League, and also be sure to check out another episode of The Racer's Mind here on Wednesday for iRacing 10-year in review. Should be an awesome show then. So everybody, thank you for tuning in tonight, and we'll catch you next time.
Have a great night.
We'll catch you next time.